Of the tackle, it is the 19th of November 2021, tarehe 19 mwezi wa 11 mwaka 2021. Natumai kwamba uko salama and you've woken up well and you're ready for this edition of the tackle, the Friday of 19th November 2021, tarehe 19 mwezi wa 11 mwaka 2021. Na kama kawaida, I request that when you join, please like. When you like, we get to know that you're watching us, and after you like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to watch the broadcast. This is the tackle and it begins now. Sheria Wiki Hii, the 19th of November 2021. Na tuko na wakili Nelson HAVI, President LSK, na pia anawania kiti ya pale Westlands. Is now running for Westlands seat as an MP. Anaona tayari ameanza kupiga ground achezi. Anatuambia kuna mpango gani pale Westlands, na pia tutaingia mambo ya sheria kwa sababu ni sheria wiki. Azungumzia pia jana niliona Kinoti amepigwa 4 months in jail. Nani atamshika sasa? Niliona pia alikuwa karibu na prison, sijui angebaki pale. But anyway, haya, karibuni sana. Unijeni, please like. When you like, we get to know that you're watching us. After like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to watch the broadcast. This is a tackle that begins now. And hapa nafasi Daktari OJWANG atuombe kama kawaida, alafu basi tuingie kazi.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay. Sikia kama mambo yako yanaangaliwa kidogo, cha tuombe alafu tukirudi basi tukuje tuingie masokoni alafu tupea ongona salamu. Mighty Father, we come before you this morning. We worship you, glorify your name. Thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for this end of the week. Even thank you for this conversation that we are about to have. May it edify the fabric of this country. For you pray, trusting and believing. Amen and amen. Haya, tuende masokoni. Flipper Bills pia Maridadi Motors anakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuagiza gari kwa bei nafuu zaidi. Maridadi Motors gives you an opportunity to import, and we get to import directly with Maridadi Motors. You get to save up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings. You get to save up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings when you import directly with Maridadi Motors. Pia nakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuinvest. If you have some money that you wish to invest, especially good diasporans, if you have some money that you spend somewhere and you wish to invest somewhere, you can invest at Maridadi Motors import to sell model, where you get to earn up to 15% returns on your investment. Ukiweka milioni moja basi unaweza kupata faida ya $150,000 ama 150,000. When you get to invest 1 million, 2 million, hivyo unapata 300,000, na kunaenda hivyo na 15% returns on your investment when you invest with Maridadi Motors import to sell model. Maridadi Motors as well gives an opportunity to save for 2 reasons. If you are saving for a unit, you get to save 50% total value of the unit. Unaweka 50% ya value ya gari ambayo unaitaka pale. Alafu basi ya balance nyingine unaanza kuilipia mdogo mdogo ukiendesha gari lako. 50% only that you get to save, and then you get to drive your car as you pay for the balances. Pia Maridadi Driving Academy is giving you an opportunity to be the best driver in town. Maridadi Driving Academy is giving you an opportunity to be a best driver in town. We are available in Nakuru and Nairobi, na pia there are other branches that are coming up soon. It's coming to Eldoret, and also there's a new branch in Karen at the waterfront we are launching this month. So we're going to invite you there so that you can have a conversation with us. That is Maridadi Driving Academy. You get there and you become the best driver. Maridadi Driving Academy gives you an opportunity to be the best driver in town. Na pia Maridadi Motors inapa pia nafasi ya kuweza, ukienda pale Theater Mall nyuma pale kuna Motor Spa Clean, Spa Clean Motor Spa. Baadhi gari yako unafika pale inang'ara vizuri sana. Ukifika pale waambiano umetumwa na Gerald Bitoko, unapewa discount yako ya 10%. Pia kama unajenga sasa, ukishanunua gari lazima ujenge mahali. Haya, if you are building, Rexha Roofing is giving you, offering very quality roofing products from Rexha Roofing, quality roofing shingles, stone-coated tiles, and UPVC water harvesting gather. As in, this is what you're telling you. We are giving you a product guarantee. Let's separate this. Product guarantee of 50 years. Ile tunapea guarantee ya product ni 50 years. Ya kwamba product yako ama roof yako itakuwa pale kwa zaidi ya miaka 50. Sijui utakuwa wapi in the next 50 years, but I can guarantee you that your roof will still be there. And we are giving you a 10-year workmanship guarantee. This is what it means. Workmanship guarantee means that if we roof your house today, for the next 10 years we'll still be on site. If you have a problem, if you feel that your roof is leaking or there's something that has not happened properly, we'll always be there for the next 10 years to ensure that your roof is in its perfect condition. We're giving you 2 guarantees. One product guarantee of 50 years, and they're giving you a workmanship guarantee of 10 good years if you're going to roof with Rexha Roofing materials. Rexha Roofing as well gives you an opportunity to harvest water, save water, 100% safe water. Only if you're also using quality roofing shingles from Rexha Roofing, you get to use UPVC water harvesting gutters that you get to harvest water, and is available for you use 100% safe water. Hakuna mambo ya kusema ati yes, granules zinatoka kwa shingles. It will always be there with you. Pia tuko na chain link. Those guys are building Milele chain link from Rexa Roofing as well inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kukisha kwamba unapata chain link safi sana, steel products, steel trusses for your roof as well kutoka Rexa Roofing. You can visit www.rexaroofing.com ama waweze kupiga simu kwa nambari ambayo unaiona pale kwenye screen. Na watu wa Eldoret pia, good news to you, Rexa Roofing is opening a branch soon in Eldoret to ensure that the products are available with you. Rexa Roofing roofs your wall, 50 years guarantee, product guarantee and 10 years workmanship guarantee from Rexa Roofing. This square where pale pia Eldoret ketia building fourth floor inakuwa nafasi ya kuweza kukisha kwamba unakaa kwa njia shwari kama vile unatuona kila siku, suti kitenge pale unaenda kimbia pale, alafu pia unaambia nakupa discount ya 10% hadi 20 kwa jina yetu. Ukisema umetuma na tackle basi unaweza kupata discount yako kwa njia shwari zaidi. Pia tuko na mambo hapa tumekuwa tukiwaambia kwamba you can only have healthy, unapata afya yako zaidi kupitia kwa Sweet Tunda products, na kwa nafasi ya kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba unapata chakula yako kwa njia shwari zaidi. Najua hapa tuko na mheshimiwa hapa, itabidi amepromote hii. Hawa ni local cottages wa constituents wako, wanaitwa Sweet Tunda. Wanatengeneza granules, wanatengeneza granola, pia wako na dried mango fruits. Nitakupa utest kidogo zaidi hiyo mango nini. Pe mheshimiwa hapa aonje. Haya, hampa moja ni shilingi 1000 tu. Na hampa moja inakuja na granola. It comes with 3 products: granola, na mango dried fruit, na another set of granola. You at only 1,000 shillings. So mheshimiwa ni watu wako wanakausha matunda hapa chini, basi utaweza kuwa promote. Asante sana. Arogore tu unaweza pata pale posta nambari, halafu unaweza kupiga simu unapata oda yako vizuri sana ya Sweet Tunda. Asante sana. Nimeona kuna ngona maamka hapa tayari. Balozi Eric Meja anasema, fellow Kenyans, we have a president who thinks he is our alpha and omega when it comes to reasoning. Our president opines we should never question him nor criticize him. When we do ask questions or offer critics, we do so out of anger, concern for our motherland. So let him know, I know he's reading this, that our love for Mama Kenya supersedes his noise towards us. Who remembers the scandal at Ministry of Health when the president's sister stole a whole contingent of containers? We are not we are not ready yet for sweets. Anyway, Emmanuel Serem, good morning from Kapla Maitran. So Asante Caroline Chepchumba, good morning. Mandera bloggers, good to you. Good to see you. Good morning. Live tuned in from Mandera County. Emmanuel Serem, Mamusha Cheptakwiri Red, Mheshimiwa Nyiganet Musa Tafa na kuwa na Penta Big, good morning. James Mutinda, good morning. Bitok watching from Likoni Ferry. Asante sana to Mombasa. Good morning. Tako Luyoni Ben KE. Asante sana. Mwingine hapa leo na Terema anasema good morning Tetako. Asante sana. Sijui kama tuko tayari. Ojwang, mambo vipi?
Poa, niaje? Good morning.
Salama sana.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Na kwanza, it's been a while. Hujatembelea sisi kwa muda, sijui ulikuwa umeenda wapi?
No, just been here about Nairobi. Glad to be in today. Asante.
Alright, asante. Mheshimiwa wakili, sasa unajua sasa hivi lazima tuanze kutengeneza cocktail ya titles. Umekuwa wakili President LSK, leo hii nasikia unakuwa mheshimiwa bunge. Next time, good morning sir.
Good morning.
It's been a while.
Asante. Na nimesema hapo awali kwamba mimi ningetaka tu niitwe mfanyakazi wa watu Westlands. Ningependelea niitwe mheshimiwa kwa sababu watu wengi wapenda kuitwa mheshimiwa. Ukiangalia kwa undani hata wanaheshima. So mbona waite waheshimiwa? Ndiposa wacha tu niitwe Nelson Havi ama mtumishi wa watu wa Westlands.
Okay. Nelson Havi ama mtumishi wa watu wa Westlands. Haya, mtumishi. Karibu sana. Imekuwa siku mingi hatujaonana.
Ndio.
Sasa kwanza tuanze na mambo ya Westlands. What made you want to run for a seat, for the political seat, especially in Westlands?
You know, of the 3 arms of government, the legislature or parliament is the last that came into being. Why did it come into being? Because in the beginning, of course, we had the king. Sometimes we had an emperor. We eventually had a president. We still have a president. The judiciary has been there since time immemorial, from the book of Judges. Those were the determinants of disputes. But as society continued to grow, the need for the people to participate actively in the affairs of government became more important. And for that reason, there's nothing to invent as we speak right now. The best way in which the people of Kenya can be served is through the legislature, the arm of government that the people, upon the development of civilized government, decided should represent their interest. You've seen my track record at the Law Society of Kenya. We've challenged governmental action in court. We've spoken, we've taken action. We've gone to Parliament, submitted memorandum on legislation and oversight with tremendous success. Some of these successes have remained paper successes. Now, it is for that reason that I have deemed it fit to go and serve the people of Kenya through representation as a member of National Assembly of Westlands, in order that I may be able to achieve that which is the responsibility of a member of National Assembly, for the benefit of the people of Westlands and the people of Kenya in general. As we continue our discussion, I'll end up elaborating on the key responsibilities of a member of National Assembly and why I fit into those responsibilities.
Okay. Is it something that you ever thought about?
Not really.
Before?
Actually, I'd never thought about it until 2019, when I appeared at the Senate to defend Governor Samboja. That's when I realized there is a problem in this house. Most of what happens here is a farce. Most of the legislators do not understand what their responsibilities are. And as a result, the end loser ends up being the Kenyan Mwananchi. And in my service as president of the Law Society of Kenya, I got so many opportunities of interacting with Parliament. And a further insight as to where the problem is came to dawn on me. And it's for that reason that towards the end of last year, I concretized my interest to go and serve in the National Assembly.
Alright. Okay. Haya. Sijui kama uko na swali ya mheshimiwa kwa mwanzo tu, Ojwang.
No, but I think his interest in public service, of course, having already served the country through LSK and even the legal practice. I think why Westlands? Why not anywhere else? I mean, you could have been running anywhere else.
A very valid question, Professor. Unknown to many, my practice has been in Westlands since 2006, when I established my farm within the premises of Monia 2000, an advertising farm, just adjacent to Corner Plaza at the roundabout of Westlands. Thereafter, I moved to Ojijo Plaza on Ojijo Road, and currently, and effective 2013, I bought premises on off Parklands Road in a building called Parkswood. So I have an investment in Westlands. Over and above doing my business in Westlands, I also reside in Westlands. But fundamentally, Westlands is cosmopolitan, is representative of Kenya in many aspects. It has all classes of citizens. It has the lower class, it has the middle class, it has the upper class. What about ethnicity and regional balance? It is constituted of almost all ethnic formations in Kenya. It represents a better forum where you can collect the views of people which are representative of the people of Kenya. It is for that reason, therefore, that Westlands resonated with me. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Haya, tutatangia Westlands baadaye. Hiyo inabidi kuwa kionjo tu kidogo. State of the nation. What do you think is the state of the nation today?
Well, I think we need to change the name of our country and call it the Military Republic of Kenya.
Okay.
Because ideally, that is what is happening. You can see every aspect of government is being militarized.
Yeah.
To what end? That is a question that some of us are not able to answer. We can hazard and say it is towards a perilous end because, and I've said this in other forums, Kenya has never been under military rule since independence. The two attempts towards a coup did not succeed. We have a transformative constitution for a civil government that has made elaborate provision to enable the people of Kenya to be well served. Why now the need to put military officers in all these establishments?
In civilian institutions.
Yes, it's a matter that must concern all Kenyans. It's a matter that must annoy. It's a matter that must propel us to action. Look at the recent events. A military officer has been designated to be the Commissioner General of Prisons. The other day, KEMSA was taken over by the military, Kenya Meat Commission, Kenyan. I mean, every facet of it. There is a military officer in the office of the Attorney General. I mean, I don't know if there is a military officer angling to vie to become the president of the Law Society of Kenya. Or perhaps they look at my fatigues and they think the Law Society is also a military establishment.
Najua tangu anza kuvaa ile magwanda, maybe you started thinking that maybe now you're another military man.
You remember on the 10th of August,
yes.
And an entire contingent of about 60 policemen was deployed to the Law Society of Kenya. Everything is being militarized. It's a big problem. And as a justification for this, those at the high elm of civilian government say there is corruption, we don't trust civilian rule, we want order. I mean, if that be the case, then why don't we have a military general take over the leadership of this country and become president?
A military president.
Let us have a general as president. Yeah. Let's finish the damn thing.
Okay.
Yeah. If we can't finish the damn thing, then let us do that which is right. We maintain civility. Let us have a civil government in all aspects. Yes.
All right, but now the question is, even with all these concerns that are being raised, there's well been an argument that look at KMC. KMC today, a pale image of what it was. Now it's an amazing place. Farmers get paid on time. Their presents made very quickly. Look, they have said, look at NMS. You see cabros all over. Although they have been cutting trees on my avenue, now it looks like a desert.
Yeah.
But now that's an argument they've been giving. Then, and the citizen also saying, if we're going to get value for our vote or value for our money, then let it be. What do you think about that? That's what. Does it not add up to the public good?
What Kenyans must ask themselves is this: who appointed the individuals that pilfered Kenya Meat Commission? Who appointed the individuals that are culpable for the loss of 7.2 billion at KEMSA? Who appointed the officers at KenGen and all these institutions, even Kenya prisons? Who appointed them? Is it not the same person who is designating the military to go there? Look, I do not think the problem is with those institutions. The problem may be located to the lack of oversight, lack of consciousness, lack of good governance in the person making these appointments. And we cannot run away from this problem by removing civilian authority and replacing it with military authority. Because often the military is precise. That's why we have this term military precision. Precise in what? The dispatch is in defense and assault. The dispatch is not in management. The dispatch is not in the distribution of medicine and medicament. The dispatch is not in the containment of prisoners in a maximum security prison. Their role is well demarcated. And it is from that perspective that there can be no justification whatsoever for these actions. What we need to do is to find good people to run these institutions. And that is one of the compelling reasons as to why I'm running for Member of National Assembly, to ensure that there is proper oversight of the executive, state agencies, state officers, public servants, because this has been lacking. And what is the state of the country right now? We do not have an opposition. The opposition was purchased. We do not have a parliament because it was emasculated. So it's unitary, military, authoritarian rule by the executive. It's as simple as that. Therein lies the problem. We must identify at what point in time did we drop the ball. Where are we going right now? You can see heightened attempts by the incumbent to impose upon the people of Kenya a particular candidate to succeed him, just as he has done by the imposition of the military in all facets of civil government. it must be looked into keenly so that we don't fall into an abyss. Yes.
All right. So, and then before I even hand it over to Ojwang, is the president, is it an admission that if the president says, I'm handing over these institutions to military to military management in a civilian government, is it an admission of failure on his end? Is it do you think it's an admission that I have failed now? I think I need someone else to do these things.
Yeah, you see, Bitok, I believe in your home, you have askaris that guard you. Why do you have askaris that guard you? Because you believe there is some danger. You understand?
Yes.
So if you cede civilian functions to the military, it's also an admission that there is something wrong.
Okay.
And more particularly, if the responsibility, if the weight of that burden rested on your shoulder, if the buck stops with you, then it is the clearest admission of failure of good governance. And remember, we have Article 10 of the Constitution that has set out the principles of good governance. You must comply with the law, you must ensure there is public participation, there must be integrity and accountability. All these facets of good governance have been lacking in many aspects in the manner in which the executive makes its decision, and more particularly in the manner in which the President of the Republic of Kenya has made his decisions. Look, let's start just from the threshold. The President was elected together with the Deputy President. He doesn't consult the Deputy President in the decisions he makes. He has instead sought comfort in the leader of the opposition. I mean, this is turning logic over its head. So if you were to ask yourself, where's the root cause of the problem, it is easy to locate it. It's failure of good governance right from the beginning.
From the top.
Yes.
All right, but all these things have happened and deterred. The president seems nobody is asking him questions, nobody is stopping him. And I was reading a quote, an Egyptian quote, and they're saying, Pharaoh, who made you a tyrant? And they said, nobody stopped me. All these things are happening. The president seems undeterred. Who will stop him? Is there a turnaround?
Yeah, you know, bad things happen when good people do nothing. Especially when something wrong is happening. That's exactly. And I want to emphasize this. The problem is this. The opposition was purchased in a slave market. You understand? Many of us who were in the opposition were left orphans because the helm, the leadership of the opposition was bought by the executive. What happened to Parliament? Parliament was emasculated with the result that no member of the National Assembly, no member of the Senate, there could be a few who attempt to oversight in an objective way, but a majority do not have a say. They have been compromised. Stories are told of these individuals being given 20,000 shillings in the toilet. You said today
10,000 actually. Why have you
you said today is toilet 10,000 day.
Toilet.
Yeah, they're being
It's interesting because it's Men's Day, International Day. It's also Men's Toilet. It's also Toilet International Day.
Oh yeah, I think it's a day that we
do.
should not celebrate, because if it's the day that marks what happens in Parliament, then it should pass without celebration. At least for men of honor like you and I, like Professor and I.
We can ignore the day.
Let's ignore the day. Yes.
Ojwang.
Yeah, no, just to add on what President is saying.
Please look at your camera as well.
One, I'm not fan of those days because I think they're made for Africans. I lived in the US for 14 years, and they have an Irish day, Amish day, and then you come here, you are told this is now the Jiggers day, and we look around for Jiggers, the Lice day. It's a mockery. It's almost a recolonization. So it's Father's Day, it's whatever day. But Kenya had a rotten history, but as HAVI has clearly said, one of the culture that refused to come in was the military being part of that messy history. Unlike other African countries, where one of their challenges is things gravitate between civilians and military. We have countries like that. If you walked in Uganda, you will feel and see the heavy presence of military. So what the president's legacy is doing or undoing in our histories too, is almost informally changing the constitution so that whoever can say, but Uhuru did it. And so that is how bad habits are caught. And it is almost becoming institutionalized and becoming part of our cancer. That there is the double tagging of civilian and military. It is very dangerous. That there's nothing preventing somebody from now taking power and giving them, or using them to manipulate things. They are moving it from what even President Moi, as undemocratic as he was, with Kinatonjo, professionalized this military. If you look at our constitution, they don't envision the commingling of military and the civilians, because military are disciplined forces. They take orders. Okay. That's why they are tried in court-martials and not ordinary court. The civilians are democratic. Military cannot even form union. They are even exempted from the constitution from even forming union. They are a different creature, and the constitution clearly demarcates where they fall. So this not rule of law, but rule by law, of bringing this cancer of, on top of our bad habits like corruption, adding the commingling of military into civilian life, we will cost this country a lot. And for those countries that have commingled them like that, if an election happens and it does not please the general, they take over. Because they have the power of the arms. They can overrule. If the ruling is not proper, they simply ignore it. So it is highest level of impunity. But even with that, look at what happened with the handshake. It was a point of informalizing and personalizing power. If I like you, I give you more cheska. If I don't like you, I plow back what you are entitled. The problem of Africa and the cancer of Africa and the very bad habit which the 2010 Constitution also came to fix is the personalization of power. So then you take the handshake. And I'm glad that court kind of drew a line and said, you as the president, you are the symbol of national unity. Yes, you should be given a little bit of footing. So if you come with the 9 points agenda to unite the country, to talk about this issue, that is fine. But when you want to formalize it into constitutional amendment, then you have gone too far. So the idea be talk, and I couldn't put it clear, is this. According to President Uhuru, and even the question you are asking HAVI, the end justify the means. That is how impunity comes. As long as they are doing better, or things are doing better, assuming they are doing better, because nobody is oversighting them. Yes. So, it doesn't matter that I didn't follow the right procedure in amending the Constitution, as long as I mean well. Your heart belongs to God. We only see your human actions. So the idea that the end justify the means. Now, finally, look at all this civilian, the military. What is it in the military training that make them a better butcherman in slaughtering cows? What is it in the military training that make them better manager than somebody who have gone to the MBA and the School of Management? What is it in the military that make the military people, as the world is moving to human rights, a better prison warder or a better prison head, what is it? Is it that these are different crop of Kenyans? Is it that there is a secret training that makes them fit for the purpose? There is nothing, because the military training, as we know it, is not about managing the streets and the civilians. It's managing the enemies and the act of war. So we can look at what every president brought. But this president have brought two things. Personalization of the Constitution. It's piggy bank. If I want something, it's like a personal will. If I want to do something for you, I say I'll add your name in the Constitution. And number two, the bringing in close to the civilians, the military. I'm telling you, there are countries that their democracy are crippled because anytime they make a move, the military is there second guessing and saying, do we take over or not? That is where the president has put us. And it's a very dangerous situation where everything now is unpredictable. And as we have put it aptly, it is misrule and poor governance. And you see, if you have poor governance, even in every setting, then you don't want accountability and those values in Article 10 and even Article 6. You create a buddy system. You personalize power. You shield yourself from accountability, and that is what these efforts are doing.
All right. Okay. Okili, how easy will it be to reverse this? In post 2022, how easy will it be to kick these guys out of these institutions?
You know, if you watch some of these movies, they simulate coups in the United States. Of course, it's all in the movies. But look, it's something that can happen. I believe there is a deliberate effort by President Uhuru Kenyatta to make it difficult for his successor, if the successor is not a person of his choice, to govern this country. Okay. And that is exactly the intention of this militarization. Because, look, some of these appointees will serve for a particular term, 3, 5 years. So you saddle the person who will take over from you with individuals who he or she did not appoint, individuals who do not have the competence to serve in those offices, thereby muddling his or her administration right from the beginning. I do not conceive of any other intention than this. Is it easy to undo? Within the constitutional framework, it is easy to undo. But you can imagine how chaotic it will be undoing these things. The person who will succeed Uhuru Kenyatta, if he or she is not a choice of Uhuru Kenyatta, will have a rough time undoing these things. But the assurance is the Constitution gives the power to the people. Verily, if the person who succeeds Uhuru Kenyatta will be different from his preferred choice, these things will be undone within a month. I do not see a problem. Okay. There is an elaborate legal framework of undo. It's what. Oh, today is Friday. Perhaps there'll be another judgment where null and void will appear. These appointments are null and void. They will fizzle as many other decisions have fizzled on every Friday, null and void.
Okay. Yeah. But now talking about null and void, yesterday there was a ruling in the court, and Judge Mirima sentenced Kinoti, DCI, boss Kinoti, to 4 months in jail. And he has been requested to show up or be arrested. There has been a lot of court rulings that have been happening. First of all, do you think Kinoti will accept to go to prison? Well, the ruling has already
Look, Kinoti will not accept to present himself in committee. Of course, he presented himself in committee
yesterday.
And the meme was, wacha niende hivi nitakam. You understand? Look, as we speak, Kinoti is a convict.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a convict. Yeah, he has no moral authority even to put on a suit. He must shave his beard, he must shave his hair, and he must put on the white striped attire and remain in committee. Anything he does, effective yesterday, is null and void. But your guess is as good as mine. The Inspector General of National Police will not enforce the warrant against Kinoti. But this is something that must alarm us. Kinoti's predecessor, Ndegwa Muhoro, was a very law-abiding director of criminal investigations. I remember when he was directed by Justice Luka Kimaro to come to court and explain what efforts the police have made towards ensuring that Willie Kimani is traced. He came to court and he patiently sat in court for 4 hours and listened and assisted the court. Now, for what reason has Justice Murima directed that George Kinoti serves a 4-month sentence? It's very simple. He was asked to come to court and explain why he has not surrendered the firearms of Jimmy Wanjigi. What is difficult about that? Who does he think he is? Look, other than the firearms that the police hold as a tool of coercion, they're very powerless because they are enabled by the court process. Warrants are issued by the court. Sentences are issued by the court. Convictions are issued by the court. Orders to detain somebody are issued by the court. So if you can't obey a court order, then you have no legal or moral authority to continue being in office, saying that you are a law enforcement officer. But more fundamentally, and this I must speak to as the president of the Law Society, are these threats directed at Justice Anthony Murima. Who is this that is threatening the judge? You understand?
Yes.
The judge indicated that at one point in time when he was handling an election petition in Migori, he received similar threats. There are individuals in office, state office, the executive, who believe they are above the law. We need not name them, but from the look of things, you can know this is the Ministry of Interior. Yeah, because the Director of Criminal Investigation works under the Ministry of Interior. Why do they threaten the judge? Who the hell do they think they are? This is a country governed by the rule of law. And I want to ask Chief Justice Martha Koome to take up this matter seriously, because if she doesn't take it, then we'll hold her responsible. Yeah. It cannot be the order of the day that a judge states in open court he or she has received threats and the Chief Justice doesn't talk about it. Unless, of course, she's complicit with the executive. And I believe I'll take up this with the Chief Justice on Monday during the admission of advocates. This should not happen. Judges must be able to rule independently without fear or favor. Many of us go to court, we don't like the decision. Justice Murima has made many decisions against me that I don't like. I appeal. You understand? You don't go threatening the judge. It can't happen. It should never happen. And this culture has prevailed during this administration. It must come to an end. And I call upon lawyers, judges and magistrates to stand up and condemn these threats against Justice Anthony Murima. It cannot happen. It should not happen. Never. Not today, not tomorrow.
All right. Ojwang, do you think Kinoti will surrender himself?
You know, how did Zuma get arrested? Zuma is a former president. It is respecting the law. Okay. And the officer is not that gun. It's not the uniform. It is that you facilitate judicial system and legal system and order. That is what makes you an officer of the law. It is not the uniform. It is not the gun that you are very powerful. There are people who probably are taekwondo who can beat the police, but they decide to be arrested because of the authority. That authority is not given to you because you are more stronger than anybody else. It's because of the order, and the people have decided to order their life under the law. Rule of law, not rule by law. Now, if the DCI think that they are invisible, or the head, that they are very powerful, you know, if this country, people did not obey the law, you don't have enough jail to put people. if people decided that, you DCI, do whatever you want, I don't care, there is nothing that the government can do. So what enforces order in a country is the respect to court and to authority, not the force. And that is what they seem to have missed, that because they think it is the guns and it is the handcuff. People obey law because you are an officer of the court, because you facilitate the judicial system. Now, again, I'm asking you, remember Zuma went to jail. So the issue is not who is going to put the handcuff on his hands. Those are details. The issue is that he stands convicted and he stands condemned. And it doesn't matter. The rest are now the gap between compliance, rule of law, and impunity. He should have walked himself respectfully and said, this is the order. And remember, it is a criminal contempt. So he must serve the term. There is no way.
He must
serve the term. And he must leave that term. He can only leave the jail after serving the term. So what the government has been doing, when you become desperate, then you think the guns is what is keeping you in power. And so of late we have been seeing not persuasion, not what Nani said in the US, walk softly but carry a long stick. We are seeing raw power. That is desperation. That I have the gun. Remember, that is where even the boss was telling us, including Matiang'i, that I do whatever the president tells me. I mean, I don't care about the constitution. I don't get my order from wherever. It is compliance because the president tells me. So that personalization of power and that lack of disregard to the rule of law and is desperation. By the way, don't be intimidated. Kinoti is scared. He's a small man because anybody, the terrorists ran from jail, assuming they ran. The cowards ran. I don't know about HAVI, but I've been arrested on a client issue even in the US. Big people.
No, I've been arrested by about 8 heavily armed policemen.
Yes.
They came to my office, then I asked them,
and you're having tea. I saw you having tea.
In fact, I asked them, have you arrested that lady? There was a lady in Nakuru who had allegedly killed 2 policemen.
Yes.
How much force have you deployed to
I don't need it.
It's fear.
Yeah.
The police are in fear. It's the simplest prophet saying.
So let me tell you, these are not very big people. These are very small people. Because when you think that your power is that gun or that office or that title, that you can shield yourself from that office, that you don't believe in what you are doing, that people comply because they respect the rule of law. But you feel that as long as you don't end up physically in jail, you are okay. That's a fugitive of justice. That's a very small person. A bigger person is a person who is saying, this is the law, and I have enforced the law, and I must lead by example. So I'm not worried, and I don't think it's an act in futility. Whether he sits his ass in committee or he's still in the office, that he stands condemned by the judiciary in a proper sentence, and he is processed, and one day the law will have its way, and it has already caught up with him.
Whether it shows
up
with it or not.
Yes. No, it is already condemned. And again, I want to just give a shout out to those judges that are saying that we will stand for justice whether the heaven and earth falls. That is the Kenyan spirit. That, you know what, the right thing is right. That I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm a judicial officer. This is where people should come. If we have said give Wanjigi his guns, do it. If you don't do it, I'm going to do what I can do. It doesn't matter what you do. You can again keep those orders. But these are fugitives. I mean, these are not honorable men that we should discuss. These are scared people.
All right, Mr. President. Back to the issues of judiciary. There has been accusation during the week of corruption in judiciary. You are a user of the judicial process. Do you feel there's corruption there? Do you agree?
There is rampant corruption in the judiciary. Okay. I've always spoken about this. In fact, I believe this is the point in time when we need radical surgery.
The judiciary.
We need the vetting of judges and magistrates. Okay. Why do I say so? I say so because the Judicial Service Commission, as currently constituted, is compromised. It is completely captured by the executive. Now, with such a Judicial Service Commission, there are two things to expect. If you are a state-affiliated judge, it doesn't matter the gravity of the complaints against you. The Judicial Service Commission will exonerate you. If you are not a state-affiliated judge, it doesn't matter how flimsy or frivolous the complaints against you are. The Judicial Service Commission will convict you. I have no faith whatsoever in the ability of the Judicial Service Commission to handle issues of corruption, integrity.
You have no faith?
I have no faith whatsoever. And this is not the first time I said it. I said it the day they rigged Tomo Gender out of the contest for election of the male member representative to the Judicial Service Commission. I said this the day they precluded the Law Society from electing its female member representative to the Judicial Service Commission to replace Dr. Mercy Deche. There's no Judicial Service Commission. It is worse than it was before the promulgation of the Constitution. The Judicial Service Commission does that which the President of the Republic of Kenya demands. It does that which the Director of Criminal Investigation demands. It does that which the Attorney General demands. In fact, it should be disbanded. If we had an impactful parliament, that Judicial Service Commission ought to have gone home yesterday. But that notwithstanding, issues of corruption must be dealt with. In my view, not by the Judicial Service Commission. About the videos that have been going around in the last 1 week, I've looked at them. I've seen the formal complaint that is before the Judicial Service Commission. I do not want to second guess what the Judicial Service Commission will do until such a time as they are declared null and void on a Friday or by Parliament. They still have the power to deal with it. Let them deal with it. Let them give us a conclusive answer. I saw certain imposters claiming to be officials of the Law Society of Kenya make very disparaging remarks against the judiciary, demanding accountability. Let me say this. First and foremost, those two individuals do not speak on behalf of the Law Society. You cannot start castigating the judiciary when the institution that is tasked with the responsibility of handling a complaint against a judge is seized of the matter. I mean, it's nonsense. They are looking for cheap publicity. The Nairobi branch chair and the former secretary of the Law Society. The matters are being handled. Despite the fact that we have impugned the integrity of this institution, it is still there. It is its responsibility. Let the Judicial Service Commission deal with this complaint. If they misbehave, we'll see. If they do the right thing, we'll also say it. But for now, we cannot start, we can't start these theatrics of convicting judges in public. No, we won't do that. It is the function of the Judicial Service Commission. Let it do its work. If it doesn't do its work, we'll deal with it.
It should be disbanded. So which null and void are you expecting today? It's Friday. What should we be expecting today?
No. These are very unpredictable territories, like a landmine. I mean, you're just enjoying your cup of tea, then you see a 411, null and void, null and void.
Or kamata fine.
And there are two cases to expect.
Yes.
There are two cases to expect. You know, whether the injunction on the deeming of those judicial officers who have been already seated, notwithstanding the president.
Oh, it's today?
Yes. So that's a major ruling today. The other major ruling I saw today is... So there are two major ones. I saw it on Ochiel Doodley's. He usually keep a brief on this public, whatever. But there's another major one. So you might just have your wish.
Although the dimming, I don't expect the Court of Appeal to surprise us. You know, look, Prof, with tremendous respect, there's a certain bench of the Court of Appeal that is always cobbled to sanitize things. The High Court makes a decision, and you'll see. I don't want to mention them. There's a set of these judges. When you see them, you know they're going to stay.
What they're going to
You can predict the case.
Yeah, they're very predictable. They're as predictable as day and night. We know them. And I've told some of them on their faces. Yeah, they know them. And I know them.
And you see...
and they know you. Yes.
What Ravi is saying...
Yes.
We know that, to use a phrase overused in Kenya, give a dog a bad name so that you hang it. There's a little bit of lynch mob that is coming to the so-called rotten apple in the judiciary. So when somebody protects the judiciary, they're not saying that they are sure the judiciary is perfect, or that there shouldn't be accountability. But we know that the executive have also a way of revisiting. And sometime when they revisit well, they first appeal to the moral glory.
Exactly.
Just like even in the war in corruption. Do you know, when after the handshake, everybody said, just arrest anybody. The end justify the means, until people actually realize, wait a minute. There is nothing like corruption, fighting corruption here. It's weaponizing the corruption to deal with whomsoever that you don't like. So when you see this campaign, and there is a campaign that the president is talking about, that, judiciary is rotten. Judiciary is rotten. Yet, the same executive have captured JSC.
Exactly.
The plan is bigger. And the plan is to set up for disobeying, as usual, the court orders, to set up for purge if possible, and we know when the purge comes, it will be the few good judges. It is to set up the public to not respect the judiciary. Okay. So it is a coward way, but it is a very strategic campaign. And I believe even whether it's the member of the internal security or whatever, most of these tweets, even when you see them making fun of the Kinoti orders, that now the head of prison has gone home and now Kinoti has been, they are making fun of it, but deliberately they are trying to help us be acclimatized to defiling rule of law in terms of humor, so that it's something laughable. Why would somebody laugh if the judge have made orders? If anybody else was ordered to go to jail, they'll have been in jail. So that rather than Kenyans being annoyed, that Kenyans are mad, and in a typical and very annoying way to say, well, this is Kenya. That is just impunity, because the judge did not think this is Kenya before he pronounced himself to law. He looked at the law and said what he had to say. Now, finally, look at that culture. Whenever the executive want to do something, they do it. So they have a standing helicopter and they grab those people within few hours in Ukambani. I wonder how far Ukambani is from Somali. But somehow, those people are not good in geography, I can tell. But they were going to hack it on foot. And you wonder, terrorists are supposed to be very well funded. I'm imagining after you have escaped, it should have been an helicopter, it should have been a car. But these are very hustler terrorists.
Indeed.
Indeed, hustler terrorists.
Yeah.
But finally, look.
At the risk of picking
after
the
escaping,
political...
that they were walking in a zigzag manner, fantastic, phonies, and fabulous fake. But finally, think of you remove the head of prison, then you investigate. That is what they have done.
Yes.
So when it's convenient for you, you condemn unheard, then is when you investigate. When it's not convenient, we will leave no stone unturned, and you keep quiet about it and hush about it, and you sit on things. So this culture again of personalization of power, where you just nimemtimua huyu without even asking, and sometime that is concealing more than revealing.
Okay. And on that note of the prison escapees, the prison break that you saw yesterday, so dramatized, we saw choppers. It was more like a movie, a Cobra Squad of sorts. We saw Matiang'i, so it's CS Musheru. We also saw our good friend DCI Kinoti, also in the same entourage. Press conference came after. There has been speculations on the social media that even the guy that was filmed explaining how these guys were caught is a prison warder. Does the plot get twister?
Bitok,
prison break, yes.
somebody said, I think it's the Registrar of Broken Promises, aka he said, it's either a maximum security prison or what we're being subjected to is a movie. It's as simple as that. You remember Alcatraz, The Rock? Yeah, there are places you don't get out of. There's something very intriguing and not thought about it. I saw it on Governor Kabogo's Twitter handle this morning. He said, if at all these people had been out of committee for a mere 2 days, then the ability of their beard to grow is very fantastic. Are you getting the gist?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very fantastic. I don't want to dwell so much upon what has been said in the social media, but this seems like a show. The chopper flies to Ukambani to go and bring them. Matiang'i goes to committee to receive them, And the previous day, I sympathize for Wycliffe Ogalo. This poor gentleman is innocent for all practical purposes. I have the power of divinity as the Margoli king. I can see things that some of you guys cannot see. This poor gentleman is being fixed, my friend, is being fixed. Yeah, it's a farce.
Collateral damage.
It's collateral damage. Yeah. When did the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta take such a drastic action? What happened in Kemsa? When the chair of the board was implicated by Parliament?
He was moved
to safer ground.
Education authorities.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's preposterous. Look, if I had abundant time, I would have taken up Wycliffe Ogalo's case and sued this damn government. This is wrong. Yeah, I have my own reasons to believe there was no prison break from committee. Something was being done. They said they fixed a few innocent men to free a hero. I don't know who the damn hero is. But when all said and done, I think it's just the personalization of power, as Professor OJWANG talks about. We can't have a convict going to committee to accept other convicts. Even Matiang'i himself is a convict. He was convicted by Justice Odunga. These are convicts. Yeah. What are these convicts telling us? You understand? Let's just disband the whole thing. Like that fanatical support of Bab. We must disband this country. Just disband it.
Should be disbanded.
Let everybody go home. Yeah. Let everybody go home. Because the theatrics are just enormous. I mean, at whose expense? Do you know the cost of sending a chopper from Wilson to Kambani and to committee? It's a lot of money. We talk about 5 million already.
Someone said it belongs to a politician, the chopper.
No, it's a police chopper.
Okay, it was a police chopper.
It's a police chopper. These are public funds. To what end? You understand? These are questions of accountability. Let's not belittle them. Let's not make memes out of them. Kenyans must ask serious questions. What is the intention behind the removal of Wycliffe Ogalo? What is being concealed? What is being planned? What did he refuse to do, or what did he do that was so right that he had to be mishandled in this manner? For this one, I do my bidding with Wycliffe Ogalo. is as an innocent as a baby. There's somebody who's
Safi kama pamba.
Yeah.
Now, and in communication, they usually say, listen to what you're not being told.
Yes.
We are heading towards an election. You've had a president saying that you need to heighten your vigilance for security agencies. Now, this committee thing comes, and the people escaping, specifically a terrorist, you know, they're suspected terrorists, whatever the reason is. Now, is there a bigger message than this? Leave Ogala alone. Is there a bigger message in the public picture? Because look at the players. They're big boys.
Yeah. You see, big talk, huh? Yes. It took a lot of pressure for President Uhuru Kenyatta to lift the unnecessary, unconstitutional, and unlawful curfew. To date, I still ran home before 10 because my body had come accustomed to going home early. Of course, I'm exempt from the curfew.
Yes,
but you'll find 5 roadblocks between Parklands and Masanduku Lane where I stay. And most of these policemen are my friends. So when I meet them by the roadside, wanasema rais, unajua tuja kunywa chai, tuko na baridi, serikali imetulazimisha tukae kwa barabara. And I used to say, why are these young men and women being subjected to all this punishment? It all goes to show the entrenchment of the bad culture of personalization. We are being prepared, we're being acclimatized to what they want to do because we are going to an electioneering year that what are they saying? Be prepared for heightened security. Heightened security for what? Let me ask some hard questions. There's a lawyer who was abducted at the beginning of this year.
Yes.
In broad daylight, we saw the videos. Why haven't they traced this lawyer? You understand?
Yes.
Nandwa again, another lawyer, Professor Nandwa, was abducted in broad daylight. We've not been told who abducted him, why, and what the government is doing. Look, how many of us are in this room? 5.
Yeah, 5.
Do we look like a security threat? Do we? What is this heightened security that they're talking about? Kenya is a democratic country, very peaceful, very civil. Let us go through the election period in a peaceful way. Purporting to heighten security with a view to manipulating the outcome of the election is something that we will not countenance. It will not happen. And the people of Kenya must be vigilant. These games were played in 2007. Bitok, you are not a child. Prof, you're not a child. We saw they started with a crackdown on the so-called Mungiki by John Njoroge Michuki. Yeah. By October, a stage had been prepared to rig the election. I mean, who doesn't know that? We know this script. It's not new. And Kenyans must resist. They must say no. We agreed to have a constitution that will enable us conduct elections to choose leaders who will serve us. Not to pinion the minds of Kenyans with fears of terrorism, with fears of insecurity, with a view to manipulating elections. That's the end game. And people must resist these shenanigans.
Okay. All right, Dr.
I remember in 2007 watching as I was waiting for my president to be announced. Then I remember the head of police came to Tele and said, I will urge Kenyans to be calm.
Very calm.
And follow law.
Yes.
And at that point everybody was very calm. And I remember having a debate with my brother who we were watching with, who smelled a rat and said, things are not good.
Calm before the storm.
Why would he come? No, I say, no, I think that's what civilized country, before Raila is handed power. People must be, the
boy is given, before Baba is being
given powers, it's clear. Who was on the other side? So he's probably warning the PNU people to be calm because this thing is coming home. Yeah. Boy, was I wrong. So I have been in that path before. So when you see somebody warning you that we will ask wananchi to be careful, vigilant, security will be heightened.
Yes.
It is
terrorists will be nabbed.
right?
Yeah.
Because one, These terrorists come from Somalia and their activity are in Kenya. I don't know why these ones were running back to Somalia. Usually, the Somalis, the camp, but the activities are out of Somalia. But beyond that, you can understand. And I was quite disappointed by the Chief Justice when she sits with Matiang'i that they are planning elections.
How?
Yet she's an arbitrator. Judiciary comes and hear things when we disagree. That she's now going to plan that from my side, from judiciary, this is how we are planning for election. Matiang'i is also saying from his side that they have formed a caucus on election. That is very dangerous. So the whole idea that the security will this is a difficult time. You see, the challenge that the Constitution came to fix in the security, and I want to make that clear, was that the way human security was defined was protecting the regime. That the work of the police is to protect the power, to stay in the hands of the president. That became the abuse of security. And that is why the security came with independent organs, including the office of the the head of police, to be independent, so that your duty is not preoccupied with succession politics. It's not preoccupied with protecting President Uhuru so that he does not lose his popularity. It is human security, food. And by the way, security is a right in the Constitution. Now look at the latest trend. The security is more obsessed with clearing path for Baba to go to Mount Kenya. It's more obsessed with who is booing him as he's talking of peace, love, and unity, which is really mirrored from KANU.
Yes.
You know, KANU was talking. If you go somewhere, be talking, you hear so much talk about peace. Know that there is no peace. Run from there. You know, when you hear, so KANU was talking of peace, love, and there was no peace, there was no unity, and there was no love. And when I look at the Azimio La Umoja, I'm seeing mirror image. The promise of KANU will rule for 100 years. And given that President Uhuru himself was the benefactor of that pledge, I'm seeing a little bit of this peace. When you hear peace, even the Bible says they will talk of peace, but there will be war.
Yes.
If there is peace, you just manifest peace. If there is no peace, psychologically, your mind give you that word so that you feel there's peace. You know, one of the biggest tips I got from my law professor was that whenever somebody is saying truthfully, then it means they're not saying the truth. If they're saying clearly, it means that point is not clear. If it is clear, they will just make it and not use the word. But because they know it's not clear, they pick that word and throw it there that clearly, so that they feel they have met the burden of making it clear. Security is not regime. So that when Matiang'i is saying, me, I'm doing whatever the president requires. That is the old 2010 Constitution. The security we have now is human security. That is why, remember, even the name of the police was changed.
Yes.
Isn't this the time that they even did rebranding to Mishi Kwawote?
Yes, National Police Service.
Service.
Yeah.
Service, no, not service for politicians. So, but I can tell you that I think Kenyans have come of age. That the price, and this is where now I cite Sianya, my mentor, that eternal vigilance. We must always be vigilant. What is going on? As we are talking today, we are on Pandora explanation. Yes. As we are talking today, we are on KEMSA report. As we are talking today, we are on a lot of things. But we must know...
SGR contracts.
But we must know that Kenyans, we have adopted short-term memories. And I think HAVI might not say it today, but there's a time he challenged the so-called middle class, actually wannabe middle class, because most lawyers and whatever are not even really middle class, but they make us feel middle class. But they are the weakest link.
Okay.
when somebody from Kibera can come and fight for their rights, and this person on a suit or borrowed suit is talking of, so that is primitive, and they don't feel they can go to the street and demand for fairness and say, no. This is our country. The judiciary have done its part. If Miguna is to come, let him in. If you have been told pay 100,000 the way the 20,000 the way the fine was on Matiang'i and the head of immigration, you must pay it. It is up to us, and the role is up to us. And as you go home, I don't know how often you use a mirror. When you see the mirror, and that mirror will show you the problem. We are the problem. We can only be abused as much as we allow the president and the executive to abuse us. This election must be peaceful. The playing field must be labeled, and fairness must not just be done, but to be seen to be done. Thank you.
All right. On other issues on public servants as well, Mr. President, civil servants led by P.S. Karanja Gibicho, we also in Matiang'i, we saw Eugene Wamalwa in Western, we saw Peter Munya from Meru as well in Western. They're saying, you guys can make all the noise that you want to make, but there's no place in law. There's no article in law that stops them from campaigning. In fact, P.S. Kibisha agona had to say, kama mtaka kumeza wembe, mezeni wembe. Na amesema pia, kama mtaka kujinyonga, akona kamba, mtafute miti tu mahali zipo. Is there anything that stops civil servants and public servants from politics, especially cabinet secretaries?
Waswahili husema nyani haoni kundule. Na mimi kama Mluya nitasema kwamba nyani akiona kundule hucheka sana. In 2017, Raila Amolo Odinga went to court, and he said one of the grounds as to why the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta ought to have been invalidated was because civil servants had actively participated in campaigning for President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
The individuals you've just enumerated, I don't want to name them because their names stink. Yeah, they will soil
your tongue.
My tongue. Who are they campaigning for? Bitok. Who are they campaigning for?
Reloading.
Nyani ameanza kucheka sababu ameona kundule. Look, what they're doing is unlawful.
Okay.
It's unconstitutional. And let me echo what Professor OJWANG said. What have they said? That I will do whatever the president tells me to do. In law, there is a concept called respondent superior. And it says you are responsible as an individual if you hold public office. When your day to account will come, you will not say that the president told me. When General Major Ali went to the ICC, of course he was acquitted. But it could not be a defense for him to say that Francis Mudhaura or President Mwai Kibaki had directed me to do this. So let them do that. What have they said? Whenever lamentations are projected at them, that people should swallow a razor blade?
Yes.
They should hang themselves on a tree?
You strongly hang yourself on a tree.
Okay. Let me remind them. Once upon a time, they lived somebody called Nikolai Ceausescu. Once upon a time, they lived somebody called Mobutu Sese Seko. Once upon a time, they lived somebody called Hussein Mubarak, Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi. They all had this mindset. Yes, they went down in a bad way. Yeah, it's as simple as that. They will go down in a bad way. In a bad way.
Right. Harry OJWANG, will they go down in a bad way or they'll survive the storm?
No, I think we have flogged this horse to death. I think there is possibility of how bad they can do, but I think they are overrating their power, to be honest. And they are underrating Kenyans. These Kenyans withstood Moi. These Kenyans are sometimes they look laxed, but these Kenyans are determined. So I think they will make their history along Kenyans making their history as usual of fighting and being triumph. But the most interesting thing is how quickly people forget. And may you pinch me when I become CS Interior and forget.
He'll pinch you with a pliers.
Because I'm finding it how easy it is.
Yes.
I mean, if anybody will have just got there with very clear examples, you know, they say people have learned from history that people never learn from history, is that when this gentleman got there, they found just the predecessors who are larger than life, a series of them, either gone
in a tragic way.
In a tragic way, and I don't know what makes people kick in life, but to me, power is not worth your life at all. At the end of the day, remember what Waiguru said. She was reminded by none other than her daughter and her mother that, Mommy, do you want to go home with the president? Or you think you still have some, you want to survive? And that rang a bell, and she said, you know what? I'm jumping, and I'm going to choose to live beyond this. Now, the president will go home, as the Constitution envision, whether he'll be forgiven for his mistakes, including the one we have highlighted of trying to put Kenya into a path that it has rejected of using military. But who will bear? Everybody will bear their own cross. Matiang'i and Kibichu will bear their cross. I remember the overzealous Saitoti, who did not know that the president have actually changed his mind about multi-party. And when he stood to speak, the president told him, Professor, we are going to adopt multi-party. Things change, and it's just in a matter of 6 months, is it? Almost 6 months that you'll still be in the office. Is it worth doing everything? Matiang'i did a great job in Ministry of Education. Matiang'i helped us to deal with the monster of exam leakage. He did. Matiang'i did a wonderful job in IT for a few years. Now, at this point, why just decide to say, you know, let the fate take its course? But again, let me remind you that it's not courage, it is fear. I don't think he has done so bad that he cannot be forgiven. Personally, I think he's a great guy. But even those people who give you orders, you can question. Even children these days say, if you tell them when my debtors come and knock, tell them I'm not here. They come back and ask you under the table. And when did you say you are coming back in this game? I mean, please ask tough questions, and you'll be set.
All right. On the same thing as well. Guys, gentlemen, for avoidance of doubt, does the law stop these guys from politicking?
Expressly.
Which article?
Article 73, Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Yeah. Article 10 of the Constitution. You go to Article 232 and 233 on the governing principles of the public service. They're quite express. They have to be non-partisan. Non-partisan. It's as simple as that. But when I was much younger, I once said, this was in reference to one particular attorney general, that he interprets the law upside down like a bat. You know, these guys are always positioned upside down like a bat. Their head facing down and their ass facing up. So there's no way they will apprehend the correctness and the express provision of the law. It cannot be within their power to actively participate in politics. And it is for good reason, Bitok, and Kenyans must listen and listen carefully. There's separation, checks and balances in the current structure of governance. That is why it was made expressly that the cabinet will not be appointed from the political class. You understand? Now you have a cabinet which, quote unquote, has been appointed outside the political class, assuming political functions. It's wrong, it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional. It's one of those challenges, if taken to court, will result in null and void.
Moment.
Null and void moment. All right. There's also a ruling that's supposed to happen today, I believe, on allowing diasporans to vote. I don't know if I think it should be active today.
I don't know if it's being delivered today, but this matter has been determined before. Justice David Majanja once directed the IBC to ensure that everybody in the diaspora is registered and given an opportunity to vote. But it's the culture of impunity, the one that Justice Huan Kriegler spoke about. You are told to do this, you don't want to do it. Making it difficult for the people to enjoy fully their rights. It's become a conveyor belt where you just have to jump after your rights. You know, you never know when they'll be realized.
Catch up with it.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a treadmill.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Miguna Miguna, for another time again, 4 years down the line, since he was expelled from the country dramatically, he said, I'm not boarding. But he ended up boarding. He ended up in Canada. He's been trying to come back. He's been trying to find his way back to his motherland. And again, for another trial, has failed after he was denied access to flights in France to Kenya. Red alerts all over on him, and he never seems to be making any headway. And I keep wondering, Miguna Miguna, a victim or a villain?
Well, Justice Hedwig Moody told us if we want to discuss this matter in public, we better withdraw the petition in court. But if we want the court to determine, we should not talk about it. And being a law-abiding citizen, being a law-abiding lawyer, I will not talk about it. The most I can say is that we argued our case before the good judge. She will give her decision on Monday at 10 a.m. Monday is not so far away from today. Even if we were to break out of your studio, we will not have grown beards longer than 2 inches.
As a studio escapist.
We are underrating
So let us wait until Monday.
All right, OJWANG, I believe you're not party to that case, so you can comment.
Well, in generality, you know, we must know that human rights are inherent, meaning they're not given. You can only violate them. As a state, you are not giving me right to life. I have it because I'm a human being. That's what the Constitution says. All you can do is be a violator or protect it or respect it. Miguna, whether he's an annoying character or not, they have done him wrong severally. Every time I see planes full of Caucasian coming to Kenya, and somebody that I get to speak with in my mother tongue, and somebody that I can pinpoint his village, and somebody that has also tried to be importantly contribute to the history of this country, including with courage, including having been into asylum. It is sad. I will be happy if he's home. I think this is again the issue of personalization of power. If I don't like you, I use that power to deal with you. If I like you, I use that power to facilitate you, so that there is no equality and equal protection of the law. We should learn to give the people we disagree with the same rights. So Miguna, again, is out of Kenya. I'm glad that HAVI took the case because it is a test. I consider it a canary bird. Canary bird was this bird that miners will go down with, and it was a very small bird, and when the mining is poisoned with too much carbon dioxide, then the bird will be crying in distress. Then the miners will not run away. And so I look at this case as the canary bird of how bad Kenya is. The day that the court will keep pronouncing that Miguna should come in, and the executive, out of impunity and contempt, will refuse, the gap between the two is our impunity gap. And it's where the canary bird is, that it's testing how bad this mind is poisoned by carbon because of disobeying court orders. Let Miguna come home. Kenya, you know, Miguna lived here before there was this thing called Kenya. I don't know whether these people know that. Miguna was in Kano before there was this thing called what? Kenya. Luos migrated here before there was Kenya. So Kenya came after Miguna. It's Kenya which crossed Miguna. So let the son, if you don't want him to be a Kenyan, he's from Kano, he knows his place. He was there before this. You were colonized, and you were these arbitrary maps were drawn, the like of the one David Ndii was drawing when we were resisting, looking like a loaf of bread. These are just creation of mind. He preceded. We know his nationality, and we know his citizenship. It is a shame, and I challenge our leaders. I think he's member of parliament, because he also have representation. Yes. Let his member of parliament, let his senator order, let his governor that also was in asylum in Mexico or Mexico. Professor Nyang' Nyong'o. That's why he has the daughter Lupit and whatever. They were born when Nyong'o was out with Miguna, fighting for this country. Please don't accept to be quiet and sign a conspiracy for silence, because you are picking crumbs from Uhuru's table. Look up beyond the crumbs and speak, and for once have tears for those who have injustice. Let Miguna come back home to his place. He's not coming to Matiang'i's house. He's not coming to eat a portion of his meal. He's coming back home.
All right. Okay. Let Miguna come back home. All right. There's also another issue that has been going on, FKF and Miguna Miguna. Do you want to make any comments on that? Is it being witch-hunted, or there's a case he needs to answer to?
When I went to act for Nick Mwendwa, I was trolled on Facebook and on Twitter, as it is the custom of most idle and angry Kenyans. They fail to understand that Nelson HAVI is an advocate of the High Court. His responsibility is to defend people. I believe, just as FIFA had stated the other time, that matters relating to football, Kenya must be handled within the parameters of what FIFA has said. Okay. But as I mean, it's the same script. We have a government that wants to get involved in everything. They want to sell tomatoes. They want to sell mutumba clothes. They want to determine how I breathe. You know, this is the predicament of Nick Mwendwa. It was very surprising that when they sought to detain him for a period of 14 days, they didn't have anything concrete against him. I mean, let me dare say, if the minister in charge of sports want to be in charge of football, why can't she just put her name on the ballot and be elected? Nick Mwendwa was elected, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yes.
Yes, he was elected. And who are these officials who have been put to be in the caretaker committee? I mean, I don't even know if they know whether a football is oval, is round, or cylindrical.
Or flat like chapati.
Yeah, I don't think they have any idea. Yeah, what are they going to do that experts in this field, duly elected, have failed to do? But let me concentrate on the legal aspect of it. It's quite evident that Nick Mwendwa was hounded out of office for a motive outside what we know. At least from now, what we hear, it's because it is said he was withdrawing monies from the accounts of FKF and giving them to the deputy president. I looked at the withdrawals. Some of them are 80,000. What will the deputy president do with the 80,000? Are we fools? You understand?
Yes.
Are we fools? So look for something more concrete. I know.
But FKF, what is the relationship between FKF?
Ngoja bitok. Najua hatuna upungufu wa wajinga Kenya. But hata Kenya kunao wenye wako na uwezo wa kufikiria kidogo. Sisi si sote tuko na upungufu wa hekima. Some things are just egregious. They are stupid. Yeah. They are stupid. Yeah. And for you as a minister who is a lawyer, whose admission I attended, who has a PhD, it's an embarrassment. Don't do the silly things. Who are you pleasing? Yeah. Everything in Kenya has been politicized. Yeah. You criminalize every action. No, it's wrong. Nick Mwendwa must be allowed to do his work. So there are people who don't like him. But this is a country governed by the rule of law. We must allow those who we do not like to exercise their rights, to do that which they've been given power to do. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Yes.
Haya, tunaingia kwa siasa kwa dakika 10 zinafuata. Tunaambia by Edwin Juma YouTube, Dr. OJWANG and President Nelson. Good morning from Muscat. Good to see you, Edwin Juma. We need to get the executive back to the people and to Sheria. Grace Kama, good morning, JB. Total Football Kenya from the UK. IB Talk, Avi and OJWANG. The government of Kenya must embrace the constitution spirit, and people are governed and policed by consent, meaning that the power comes from the people as opposed to the state. David Akero, good morning. Salimia President Osante. David Wasbey, diaspora voting ruling is expected today. Yes, we're expecting to see the ruling today. Frederick Dono, great show, GB, watching from Adelaide. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Freaky. Ad Abrams, good morning. Vision Tool Kenya from UK. Bitok, ask LSK President, what does he think about MPs earning 250,000 for housing allowance while a police constable housing allowance is kept at 9,000 shillings? This is so immoral. All right. Abrams, Dr. OJWANG is spitting real facts. Timothy Kiprono, the discussion. Those are, Miguna was expected in the country, then prison break happens. Prison boss dismissed, then replaced by another military man. All said and done, all the escapees are rearrested. Oops, sorry. Thinking aloud. Does also can the Parliamentary explain on the FKF matter? I think we've touched already on the FKF matter. Please, Rotich Mike, please remind Kifisho there was Murungaru who moved around with a contingent of elite squad and never thought that he was a human being. He behaved like King God. Eventually, he couldn't even afford to be MCA in his village. Okay, Sam, can see Sam watching. Marcus Kimeli, true, he failed by not pointing out this guy failed. Kenya football fanatics, this means when elected, he will hide in the bush when it's needed to speak the truth or the prison. I don't know. Kuna mtu amekuita hapa. Umeitwa chai hapa, anasema karibu for Isha. Let me see. Kuna jamaa amekuita chai hapa.
Ndio General Chai Guevara.
Chai Guevara. Jaribu chai Sheria, who won the 60 millions promised by police to anyone gave information. They won it themselves. Ndio nasema kwamba mkono unatoa kwa right na pia left. Life goes on. Matiang'i alisema no, there's no money. Asante sana. Now, let's move to siasa. The role of parliament and your bid for Westlands constituency and what the constituents of Westlands should expect from you or what you're pledging to do for them.
Yeah, first and foremost, let me answer those two questions.
You can pick anything from
the a question was asked as to whether a member of parliament should be given that hefty house allowance.
Yes.
Now, Kenyans must ask themselves, for what purpose do you elect people to parliament? Look, if you elect me to parliament, I have my house in Lavington. I have my house in Kitale. I volunteer to go and serve you people in parliament.
Yes.
Why do I need a damn house allowance? Parliament should not be a place for people to go and make an income. And I repeat, this is what I said the other time when I was running for election as LSK president. I said, don't elect impecunious individuals to go and serve you in LSK because they will go there to make an income. Compare this to the police. I believe the police must be adequately provided for. They must be given conducive environment to serve. So you cannot better the position of a member of National Assembly to the detriment of the policeman. It's as simple as that. And I hear there are attempts by the National Police Service to scale down the salaries of graduate policemen and women. That is wrong. And let me issue this warning. If they do that, I'll be in court the following day. We don't want these games. Police, many of them do a good job. They must be given a conducive environment to serve. Now, Westlands constituency is very pivotal. It is the epicenter of Nairobi County. I've set out a 4-point agenda, which I must now set out in brief.
4 points agenda.
4-point agenda.
Right.
One is to ensure that we have good laws, laws that will benefit the people. The position where we are right now, where the cost of living is high, is because Parliament has increased the fuel levy. Parliament has increased taxes. Parliament has not made provision for pandemic relief to ensure that the people in Kangemi, Kibagare, Githogoro, and all those suburbs have something which can alleviate their plight. You understand?
Yes.
As a result, rents have gone up. People cannot pay school fees. You understand? Salaries have been reduced, if not removed altogether. Why? We don't have good laws. Number two, the role of the member of National Assembly is to oversight the executive, state agencies, state officers and public officers. Today, we've just been talking about malpractices on the part of state appointees. Why do these malpractices prevail, yet Parliament is tasked with the role of oversight in the executive? It's because individuals who are in office don't do that work. I have undertaken to go and do this work. And it's not an empty promise.
Yes.
This is a job given to a member of National Assembly by the Constitution. Number three, equitable allocation of the national revenue. We all pay taxes. You understand?
Yes.
It is the role of the member of National Assembly to ensure that that tax which you and I pay is equitably distributed so that development percolates in all areas of the country. Number four, infrastructural development. And this is very peculiar for Westlands. Westlands has 5 wards: Parklands, Karura, Kitusuru, and Kangemi and Mountain View. Now, the needs of these wards are peculiar. Infrastructural development is key to those areas where we can say they are habited by the lower class and the middle class. We need roads. We need hospitals. We need schools, so that the parent in Kangemi, in Mountain View, in Kibagare, does not need to take a bicycle or a motorcycle to take his or her child to school 5-10 kilometers away. We need hospitals. Look, we have Agahan, we have Avenue, we have Mpesha. All are within Parklands ward. The other wards do not have hospitals. These are the things which the CDF Act has made provision for. A colossal sum of money, between 100 million to 150 million. Given this amount of money per year, you can develop schools, you can develop markets, you can create pavements, you can develop hospitals. These are the responsibilities that I want to place on my shoulders. And I want to assure the people of Westlands and the people of Kenya, people of Nairobi in particular, you need to elect somebody who does not go to Parliament to make money. I'm not very rich, I'm not very wealthy, but I'm not impecunious. I do not need to make money from Parliament. You understand? I have not amassed wealth. I have not stolen. I do not need power in Parliament to protect anything. I'm going there to serve selflessly. You see, over and above that, you need to trace the record of an individual. My life is an open book. You've seen my pictures from when I was 2 years. You've seen my pictures in primary school. I can name all my teachers. From nursery school, Margaret Manasseh taught me in nursery school. Ruth Kisaka taught me in standard 1, including my father and my mother, Grace and Josphat Obama. You've seen my teachers in high school. You've seen my classmate, John Ambunya, Edward Shikali. Yeah? You've seen my classmates in the university. You've seen the people I've worked with. I'm an individual with a proven track record. My ability to serve has been demonstrated. So we need to have good representation. And I've said this before, and let me repeat it. Sometime you'll ask yourself, why do I need to vote? Especially in Westlands. Perhaps before, you may not have had a reason to vote.
Yes.
This is the reason why you have to vote. Yesterday, I was at Sarit Center, and I was walking very fast because I was looking for a place to upgrade my phones. Then this lady jumped out of a coffee shop and said, "HAVI, is that you? I want to vote for you." There are many other good things that I don't want to say that she said. If I said them, then Oguda will put a column in the Sunday Nation. Dikembe will put a tweet on his timeline. But when people hear that the person who wants to serve us in Westlands is Nelson HAVI, they look at what he has done, what he has done about the curfew, what he has done about BBI, what he has done about executive overreach, what he has done about the rights of the policemen, the rights of journalists, the rights of students, the rights of workers. These are indicators of somebody with the ability to serve you. So I call upon everybody who works, who lives, who was born, who has an interest in Westlands to register and encourage those in their families, those they work with, to register. We need change. Change begins with us. Change begins with you. This is the time for us to implement the 4-point agenda, which will make Westlands an impactful constituency.
All right. So if the people of Westlands give you an opportunity, you have the 4-point agenda that you've outlined for them. We show the very best. But before that, Ojwang, you've heard about the agenda of Mr. President for Westlands people.
Yeah, for Westlands people, and really, the role of MP will work for the rest of Kenyans equally. I think HAVI is one of the people who still have a belief that public service is meant to change people, work for the people. It will be very hard. It will take very long time before you get to be corrupt. So,
how long do you predict?
Even worst case scenario, I say, everybody have a price. Maybe everybody will be corrupt, but it will take so many attempts. So you will give in some 10 good years, and then we can review whether he has mastered and withstand the ghost of corruption. He is very passionate about the right thing. I mean, if you look at the role of MP, it should be somebody who can simply not just somebody who is taking orders. Right now we have robots. We don't have MPs. If William say, "My camp, this is how you vote." If Baba say, "My camp, this is how you vote."
That's what they swing.
Yeah, so I don't even know why they count those votes. they should just look at the list and say, "This is Baba's list. So this is your vote." Right? Why do they even pretend of doing quorum and saying nay, whatever? And we know very well that the votes were taken with people out of the house. So we really need independent minds. I don't know, but today he might not get opportunity to share. The lawyer that inspired and brought change in Cuba, that is Fidel Castro, was really not from a very poor family, but what he did, he was so serious about the movement that to make sure that jokers and spies do not become embedded in the movement, he came with the art of growing beard. I heard that story from him. I Googled it and I affirm it is true. Because people will masquerade and say we are comrades, but they have come to spy on you. You cannot grow beards overnight. And so he came with a test of true comrade that your beard must be this long.
Actually, it had to be a minimum
Right.
of 3 inches.
3 inches.
Yeah.
To weed out.
Which takes 6 months to grow.
You can't grow it overnight.
This one wouldn't qualify. You know, mine is slightly above 5
as long
inches.
as I've not tried
Yeah,
to, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is very sparse. I've not the banding.
Yeah. So, I mean, this country, what the executive and what every bad person is doing is to try to overwhelm us so that you give up. Seriously. You know, once you are overwhelmed, you are saying, hii ni Kenya. Why bother? Please don't give up. Don't be overwhelmed. We and in Parklands and even with members of parliament is what one professor described as going to one nice hotel to shower and only 2 shower holes are working and the rest are not working. And when he called the reception and say, hey, the shower head is not working, they said, we'll send our engineer. Of course, you know it's not an engineer, but the engineer came and said, okay, but it's working. And the guy was like, whoever put in this African Negro mind that somebody can make a shower head with 30 holes. But as long as 2 holes are working, then the shower head is working. I mean, the settling for mediocrity and accepting that as long as some water inakuja, hii ni Kenya anyway, please let us accept that the shower head was made to drown water and for all of them to work. And until all of them work, things are not working. So I just want to ask Kenya, and HAVI, thank you for having hope in these Kenyans, because you are really putting a lot of faith in people who will say impunity stops. People who will say we want good governance. And those are the people you are counting on. With that, I think that the state and all these bad things are meant to overwhelm them so that people feel like giving up.
Yes.
Why even bother? Please don't give up. This country, we are not where we were before 2010. I know we are not where we should be, but thank God we are not where we are. Things will work. Things will change. You will get an MP who is not crazy for once, who can articulate issues and who can represent and can be your servant. And that is a good thing.
All right. You know, I want you to try this, Mr. President. These are local cottages in your constituency.
Sure, it's not.
This is mango. No, but you know,
nice to
the thing is, I have a lot of interest in your bid.
You know, like Fidel Castro, I have to be very careful because the attempts to shorten my life.
You've seen attempts to do that.
Are as many as they were. On Fidel Castro.
What do you think about that?
You say this is
Sweet
produced
tunda.
in Westlands?
Yes, produced around in Nairobi. Sweet tunda.
Sweet tunda?
Yes, from our local farmers. Dried fruit, 100% natural.
Let me know who produces it so that we may ensure that it's bought.
So, you like it?
Button and Bumper Company Limited, a fantastic product. You know, I don't have a good taste for mango, but for a fact, this tastes very good. I think I recommend this for sugar, glucose, and energy. It's good.
And that's natural. That's without any processed sugar, matunda. That's the best snack you can have. Instead of having munching chocolates around. This is what you could have. And now, the best thing is, the hamper that you're seeing on your screen only goes for 1,000 shillings.
Okay.
Yeah, so now those are 6 hampers on you.
If you had served us this before we started the tackle, saying the path will have been different.
But you know, the president never walks with a wallet. Did you ever see Mwai back with a wallet?
You can swipe. You can always swipe. Things have changed these days. Things have changed.
Button and Bumper Company Limited, this is a fantastic product.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's natural, and naturally it's supporting you. It goes down to support the farmers because all this coming from local farmers. You can see at Sweet Tunda everything starts and ends with the natural goodness. From the way we work with small scale.
Work on a pay bill number.
Local farmers, iko pay bill number. Pay bill number ipo, acha nikupe sasa hivi.
Ununue kidogo.
Pay bill number iko.
For some of us who did food nutrition, you come to the back and you look at the natural goodness of farmers and you look at the nutrients. Energy, this thing hits you with 1.5 0.58 kilojoules.
Hey,
Now
that's
that's a lot of energy.
That's like a rhinoceros.
Fats 9, but these are good fats from fruits. At which fiber, fiber is a good thing. 9 proteins, 9. I can go on, but from food nutrition perspective, I turn around. People usually look at the picture in front, but for some of us who took food nutrition class, we usually turn our things around and look at the back and look at the content of what am I getting here.
As a jobless nutritionist.
No, I'm not jobless. I eat.
But you're not doing nutrition.
I eat. I'm using it because I go to supermarket. I turn things around. People don't understand, and then I buy them and I eat. So I'm not jobless.
But you like it, Joa?
No, this is powerful, man. It's good. It's some powerful stuff.
All right, I'll send you the baby number on your WhatsApp, Mr. President. Baby number is 303-030.
Okay, fine.
All right, but you can order as well if you want to. If the guys who are ordering online on the show, you can call the number. You can actually send a WhatsApp message to the number to be delivered free of charge. 0729-828-820 or 729-828-820. If you're ordering, if you're watching us and you want to order a package or a number of sweet tunda, you can WhatsApp your order to the number 0729-828-820. Only at 1,000 shillings. The number comes only at 1,000 shillings. A very beautiful number for your use, because you can see on the screens. Inakuja mpaka na kikapu that you can use on your table.
Kapu kama hii.
Okay,
wonderful.
Kidogo. Asante sana. That's Sweet Tunda. Thank you so much for partnering with us, and also for the local farmers. Thank you for making sure that, for the company as well, thank you for making sure that the local farmers are able to earn from their living. Small, mambo kama hii pole pole, and the local cottages will thrive. Mdogo tu, mambo yatakuwa sawa. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for coming in and for always supporting, for being a great supporter of the show. We really appreciate you. Nashukuru sana.
Wewe kura yako kwa wapi cricket?
Itaingia Westlands. Direct.
Unajua iko mahali pale Kangemi neto bottom line. Iko Kalenjin cricket mingi sana kimarus na kimalel. Ambia hiyo mtu yote na kisha kwamba na register kura na bikia kirigit mwenzao kama.
Unajua jamaa yangu ni ya Likuyani hapo tu tumekula boda. Ni mtu ya nyumbani.
Kirigit kama no.
Ni mtu ya nyumbani. Kwa hivyo tunasema lazima ingiza
hata prof ni kirigit mwingine.
Ile ndume on my own make.
Rajua, you need to interrogate the interest of OJWANG by being a girgit. You need to interrogate. There must have been some serious missions.
You know, during those days, the Kalenjins never used to give births. You could walikuwa nagopa kuza. So walikuwa naiba watoto sana. I think huyu jamaa ni Kalenjin. Sasa in retaliation Jaluo waliiba huyu.
After wao waliibiwa.
Sasa is not a lie.
These are stolen Kalenjin.
It's not adding up.
Yeah. We need cricket by birth.
So we'll be with you. Westlands tutapiga kura. Hiyo tutaingia, because I think we need to sanitize. And the thing is, mheshimiwa. And you've said tutaki kuitwa mheshimiwa. Okay, Mr. President.
Mtumishi, yes.
Let me ask you, Mtumishi. We've seen a lot of people who have come out as you. Very clean intentions, you know, with a serious background of honesty and integrity. And when they get into this parliament, crazy things happen. Kuna uchawi iko pale na uko sure hiyo uchawi itakushika. Have you been sanitized enough?
No, talk. There's something I told you. You're taking it for granted. Have the power of divinity and the king of Maragoli. You understand? I speak to those who came before us. I see what we cannot see. I'm immune to corruption. You understand? If I was corruptible, BBI would have gone through. If I was corruptible, Maraga would not have ordered the dissolution of parliament. If I was corruptible, null and void will not be the order of the day every Friday. You understand? And like Fidel Castro, as he has told you, I'm not very affluent, but I'm okay. What do you need in life? What is the life expectancy of a male Kenyan? Why do you need to amass wealth for 10 million people? Yet you are one person and you live for a maximum of 80 years. That's bullshit. Live and enjoy life. Serve the people if you're given the opportunity to serve. You've seen how I've served the Law Society.
Yes.
Deep State have crippled. They've taken accounts of the Law Society. But we've been impactful, notwithstanding the fact that they took the money. Yeah? And we offered a lot of money, talk, tens and hundreds of millions.
Wow.
You understand? But what is hundreds of millions for a golden casket? No, it's not worth it. If you live for nothing, you will die for nothing.
Sure.
And this is what I propose to do as a representative of the people of Westlands. Their interests first. Of course, there'll be need for us to have compromises, but compromises must be executed within the parameters of the Constitution. He alluded to this poodle public culture of most elected members of Parliament who say that this is what we are supposed to do. This is how it's done. No, it must be done within the confine of the Constitution. Service to the people first. The people of Westlands can be assured of that. I don't need that money.
100%.
No, what for?
Okay.
Yes. You just need to eat, sleep, and dress. Yeah.
End of story.
End of story.
Someone who said you don't have to live long, you only need to live effectively. Jesus was around for, I think, 33 years.
Yeah.
And the nigga disappeared. We're still talking about him 2,000 years down the line.
and Herod the Great died at the age of 36 after building how many cities? 3. Herodium, Massadas, and Caesarea. 36. You understand? We have these characters here who have lived twice that age. They have never done anything. Yeah. I mean, we need to think.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, now it's an opportunity to think.
And you are 36 and all you do is play video games in your boxers in the basement of your parents.
Yeah, I mean, insult people.
Insult people.
Contrive
watch cheap porn.
Contrive propaganda against those who want to serve and publish it in the Sunday Nation.
And
publish it
discourage
on Twitter.
that
Discourage everybody.
This is Kenya, nothing will work.
No, that's bullshit. And I need to call out individuals like Gabriel Oguda and Dikembe. They are fools. They're a disappointment to the youth in Kenya. When some of us volunteer to serve and all you do is to troll us, publish false articles, mudsling us so that we don't have comfort in our home, so that we don't serve, that is stupid. It's deplorable. Shame on you, fools, idiots.
Okay. All right, now you have a challenge.
The biggest danger is to accept the oppressor's definition of you. And some of Kenyans have accepted the definition of those who oppress us for what our leadership should be or we expect. I've met people who have gone to Parliament and they're saying they realize that, you know, the power of one, HAVI. I believe in the power of one. I know how even in the coming with the U.S. Constitution, there was the founders,
Yes.
The power of one. But they're saying how lonely. It's a very lonely path. And you have to have the stamina of mind, which I don't doubt that you have, because you lie in the ambience of royalty from your heritage. And so you see, Kenyans and people who are colonized are very cheap. That you want toys and you want things. The things he's talking about are simply toys.
Yes.
You corrupt what is important and incorruptible for toys and for stuff. Yet you can say, you know what, I'm going to leave legacy and I'm going to do the best I can. But you had a challenge.
Yes. The challenge was, obvious challenge you to think, because we have people who have lived triple your age, who have not done anything yet, and they're still promising to do things on their sunset days. It's like the sun promising you to dry your maize in the evening at 6:30 p.m.
You see, the best example is this.
Yeah.
You're digging a foundation for a castle. In your sunset years, you don't want young men and women to dig foundations to build castles. There's a problem in Kenya.
All right. Asante sana, Eugene Keragori. The future is bright with AVI. Sami Chuma, may God protect AVI for Kenyans to get justice. Nelson AVI proving to be a pivotal person in helping straightening this nation. Liberation is now. Brian Mulama Nelson AVI is the next MP of Westlands on NC ticket. Mapema na mapema bitoka. Asante Sami Chuma, great show. Keep exposing the truth for Kenyans, because everything in our government is fake. That is on a tweet, YouTube as well. Grace Kamau, Avi as my vote. Santole Mayan Jr., I'm looking forward to seeing Avi in Parliament. Patriot Kenya, Avi is a presidential material. Those are Avi if he finds political parties inconvenient, considering the obsession of Kenyans and political parties. Avi is what is salt. Kenya's legislature needs him. Elizabeth Lasocheria, big up Dr. Ojwang, my Dean, School of Law. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for honoring our invite once again and for being a great friend of the show. And as well for saying things as they are. We have this platform because we want to speak truth to the country. We want to speak truth to our generation.
Thank you.
That we can have a better
generation. The Tuma 1,000, your pay bill number for this.
We are taking 6 samples.
There's too much energy for one individual.
No, you have people. Tom, there are people waiting for you in London.
Okay, but doesn't get a seat.
Sit. You'll take 6 samples for Mr. President. Ojwang, thank you so much, Ojwang, for coming in as well and for committing your time. It's been 1 year.
Yeah, for attendance.
The guys on YouTube and Facebook as well. Thank you so much for always being with us. Thank you for contributing as well to the conversation on Twitter. Thank you for being as active as you are.
Showing up.
All the very best. Thank you for showing up. This is the Talk on the Friday edition of 19 November, and it ends now. Bye-bye and enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday.
Okay.